you know, if you're wanting a holiday with people and bars and, you know, or tiki bars and music and meeting people, this is definitely not it. This is quiet, um, a lot of your own home cooking. You can hear how quiet it is here.
In this video, I want to take you around this island and show you some of the top spots to explore, from running scenic trails, discovering completely deserted snorkeling coves and beaches. And by the end, we are renting a new place, a really cool treehouse cabin. Don't forget to check out the first video where I do share how to get to the island from Nassau, and a little bit about the airport, as well as the famous Dean's Blue Hole. So for now, I want to share our first adventure, which begins with a run to the Atlantic. We are headed out for a run. Hopefully we don't get hit by a car. Shouldn't say that, but it's pretty treacherous. I know this road doesn't look like much, but the cars do go quite fast here. It's not a walking culture in these islands. It really is just driving. It's right directly on the highway, one of the reasons why we are potentially leaving, which I will share. The run is about 2 kilometers to the Atlantic coast, and the terrain wasn't too bad. It's a few hills. It is definitely walkable, and it's quite an enjoyable route. We actually saw some goats along the way, and it's just a nice walk or hike if that's what you're into. It's not every day that you are on a run and you come across goat. Uh-oh, they're starting to go. I better turn this thing around. Oh, look at the baby. Okay, let's see if I can catch it. I think that's my favorite thing about. As shared in my first video here, the island does have a ton of reefs. It has 2 distinct faces, really. One's on the east coast, which is where we are right now, and it has tons of cliffs and caves and the powerful Atlantic waves, which does make it a little hard sometimes to snorkel. And of course, on the Caribbean seaside, the beaches are just quiet and soft and sandy and beautiful, and it's what you think of when you think of Bahamas. It's where kind of where we are staying, and most of the places are on that side. Not everything is perfect, though. Scientists do say that potentially by 2025, it's going to have the island, or just Bahamas in general, is going to have 680 or more million metric tons of plastic debris. And we've seen a lot of it. It's pretty sad to be here and see it firsthand. We know climate change is exacerbating the problem. There's powerful hurricanes we see that are hitting these areas. It's pretty sad, and we all need to think twice when we're using plastics, of course. Oh, it's a very simple Christmas here in Long Island, Bahamas. We just have one small little gifts for each other, which is a stocking. Our third thing I wanted to share was just spending Christmas on an island. It's something we try to do. It's when we have our holidays. And when we can travel, so it's nice to get away. And I live in a cold climate. It was just different place to be for Christmas, and the most sort of strange place to have Christmas, to be honest. We're in Mangrove Bush Settlement, and we are going to be leaving on the next day. We are leaving, and I will share the reasons why at the end. I misbooked this particular place. Our second thing I want you to share, our second hike, we did the run, but this is another hike to the Atlantic side. Hi. And it's pretty quiet, like when you're just standing here. Listen to you can hear nothing. Listen. It's very quiet, very peaceful. The Caribbean Sea is this way, and maybe just about a kilometer behind me is the
Atlantic.
And I'm going to say it's via an unnamed road. I call this the Mangrove Bush Trail. That's all I can say because I couldn't find any kind of name for it. It starts from the cafe called It's Under the Sun. Definitely worth a stop if you want to get some coffee or lunch or a picnic to bring there. And then it's about a 2-kilometer from that location to directly to the spot that I would say is one of the best snorkeling spots if you're not on a boat. And you just want to snorkel right off a reef. There's a cove. It has a natural barrier and it protects you from the waves. It makes it perfect for snorkeling. It's just perfect, and I'd highly suggest going. So it's pretty cool that we found this little nook, a little cove. Everywhere else you could not snorkel, like way over there. The sea is a little rough right now, but this spot is pretty nice for snorkeling. I did include a map, and of course leave me a comment if you want sort of a how did you get there, in a more personal sense. I will certainly respond to you.
We are leaving this cottage that we're staying at. It is, I think we fell short a little bit on what we were expecting or what we thought it was. I think it's a great place if you are someone who is going to go out every day and fish. We're noticing there's a lot of charters, people coming and renting boats. That kind of thing, but we are literally situated directly on a road. I wonder if while I'm talking a car will go by. And it is what it is when you're exploring areas. You stay in different neighborhoods, different communities. There we go. We are staying locally. We're not necessarily on the beach. We're not in a resort. We're in a little cabin, staying. I guess the people who own it do live, I think, in one of these areas. But we're moving. All day, cars. We are moving to a different location, and we're going to go and explore some more snorkeling and some beaches in the area, and hopefully find some places we can get some fish. Yes, I am vegan, but I do eat fish while I am away, especially just because my body needs it. I am going to share, if I haven't already, that the prices of food here are quite expensive compared to what you might be used to, which is why we're doing most of our cooking ourselves. But things like meat, chicken, beef, what I noticed when I went into the grocery store, not that we bought it, and then just certain products are incredibly expensive. Coffee. We didn't buy any juice. The orange juice I saw was something like $18-ish where I was. We forego that, but we have lots of fresh fruit, so that's fine. Next destination was when we actually left Mangrove Bush Settlement, which is sort of in the middle of the island, and we headed north to the Sunset Beach area, also known as Wemyss Settlement, and we rented a really, really cool little boathouse. I call it a treehouse. It overlooks a massive mangrove forest, and from our vantage point, you can actually see the Caribbean Sea. It's only about 500 meters away. So we're staying at a place that is on the north part of the island. Earlier we were staying kind of in a mid part of the island, or southern, because we did drive to the end, so maybe drove about 45 kilometers north, and we're staying this is actually a boathouse, and the beach is about like a 5-minute walk away. We're kind of literally in the middle of these mangroves, but it's kind of a cute little place.
Just kind of, before we move in, maybe show what it looks like. Here's the view. Very different environment than where we were. But you can also, from certain spots here, you can see the Atlantic Ocean. It's really beautiful. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this particular adventure. I hope that you have your own time or chance to visit Bahamas. It's beautiful, the islands. Please give me a subscribe and a thumbs up or like. It does help me and my channel grow. I'm hoping to, retire in my career and potentially travel more. And I'd love to continue developing this community. But it also helps other travelers who want to go to these places. It helps the algorithm. So yeah, a subscribe is helpful. And of course, don't forget to check out the very first video I did where in Bahamas, where I share about getting to Long Island and the famous Dean's Blowhole, which is absolutely surreal. Next time we're heading to the northern tip of the island to share more snorkeling areas, including hidden and hard to reach spot called Poseidon's Point. You can't even find it on Google, but we did, and it is absolutely something else. So let me know what you think about the video, and see you in the next one.
It's very quiet here, and I've just been laying here on my own for, I don't know, the past hour or so, and just relaxing and reading up a little bit about Long Island, Bahamas, and learning about its history. And it did seem to suffer a little bit economically over the last 5 years or so, as many of the islands that depend on tourism did. Even driving, we've driven, I would say, we haven't driven the entire length of the island yet, but I would say, I don't know, out of 10 houses we pass, 5 seem boarded up. Many restaurants closed down. So it definitely seems like they're on a downward, slope in terms of how they're doing. However, with that said, it's quite beautiful. It's very, very quiet. We've been here for, during, I would say, tourist season in December, and it's, as you can see, like, this is there's not many people around. I'm the only one here. I'm on the Gulf side. If we can drive about 15 minutes. On the other side is the Atlantic. We'll do some excursions where we can go to some coral reefs in that area and, see what we can see.